Hello and welcome to another painting video. In this video I'll be painting the Bad Moon Loonshrine for my Gloomspite Gitz army. This is a huge scenery piece, but I'm going to paint him up very quickly using the airbrush. And of course I will add some psychedelic lights as I did with my Gitz. Let's begin, shall we? Let's start with giving the scenery piece a base of black primer. I make sure everything is black, even the hard to reach places. Next, I'm going to add a zenithal highlight of white primer. I'm going to work with contrast paints, so this will be a great base for that. The cave part of this scenery, I give a coat of Akhelian Green. This gives a lovely green-blue hue to the dank cave. I also spray an underspray of Akhelian Green on the moon part of the scenery. This is to create a more interesting shade than just black. I spray Shyish Purple on the bottom of the cave to create a fun and dark gradient. This is to add some variety to the cave. The two moons of the scenery now get a spray of Iyanden Yellow contrast paint. This paint works really well with the blue underspray I already have, giving it a nighttime feel. And here we have the base for the scenery piece. I left all the mushrooms alone as these will be sprayed at the end. For now, we're going to do some highlighting on the cave and the moons. I first add a very thick highlight of Sotek Green to the cave. I go over the entire cave, but leave parts alone that are very much in shade. I add a thinner highlight of Templegar Blue to the previous layer. And I end with a highlight of Templegar Blue mixed with Blue Horror. I was very rough with these highlights, mainly because it's a scenery piece and also because of the overabundance of mushrooms, which means I'll be adding a lot of object source lighting at the end. The two moons get a rough highlight of Flesh Gitz Yellow mixed with Dorn Yellow. And I add a second highlight to the moons with Dorn Yellow. Now to add some quick details. The muddy ground found at the entrance is painted with Cygor Brown. All the metal and bone parts found on the scenery piece get a rough coat of white scar. As a warning, there are lots of bones found at the entrance. I paint these with Skeleton Horde. All the metal is painted with Basilicanum Grey, washed with Agrax Earthshade, and highlighted with Celestra Grey. Finally, I add another highlight of Iyanden Grey, making it read as a very dirty, non-metallic metal. I went over all the details rather quickly, but there are a lot of mushrooms still unpainted. Let's get the airbrush and finish this piece. I first spray titanium white on both the mushrooms and the areas on the scenery piece where I want the light to reflect. I'm going to add a couple of fun colors. First, I'm going to use a transparent ink called Fluorescent Blue. This one is very watery, but dries rather nice. Second, I'm adding Tesseract Glow as my green light. This paint covers much better, but doesn't have a lot of contrast. I spray Dorn Yellow on all the green lights to add some more contrast and highlighting. The third color is a transparent ink called Magenta, mixed with a little titanium white. This also has a very nice coverage. I highlight the magenta with a transparent ink called Rose Light. Because of the sheer size, I'm adding a fourth color. For this, I'm using Gryph-Hound Orange. I highlight the orange glow with Fire Dragon Bright. And here we have a Bad Moon Loonshrine ready to drive all those poor Gitz and Squigs star-craven mad. This is an excellent centerpiece for your army, and it's good to have a sizable model in this army, especially if, like me, you're going for, whoops, all Squigs. In my next video, I'll actually be painting the Melusai Bloodstalkers I promised last time, but you know, the Moonshrine was just begging to be painted and I couldn't wait. In the meantime, be sure to check out my Instagram, where I post pictures of current projects and behind the scenes stuff. But for now, thanks for watching.